So welcome to Code of Petit Pois. To this time we're going to look at making a movie using the TMDB API. It's a movie website, so you have a featured image with the title, and you can view the details, watch the trailer. You've got a little bit of navigation here. We can look at movies in general. These are popular movies, trending now, upcoming releases, and then you've got categories. I used Lovable just to make the prototype, but we're going to code everything from scratch using Astro.js. So that's what we'll do now, and we'll come back. Okay, so I've created an empty folder called TMDB -movies. I'm going to open the terminal. This is in VS Code, and I'm going to run an npm create Astro at latest, and we want this directory, so use the dot. So that's going to spin up a Astro project for us, and if we keep referencing what we have here, we're going to need, I could just take a screenshot of it, I suppose. We're going to need, what we're going to do, we're going to do the UI first, and then we're going to implement everything on the back end after. So we'll need a header with these three, well, 1, 2, 3, 5 things here. We're going to need, it's actually sticky, which is good, interesting. And, oops. Okay, so we've just got a plain project in VS Code called TMDB movies, and I'm going to get rid of the welcome and the comment here, and also this welcome component, and we can get rid of this component as well. Okay, so we'll remove everything, and I've just got it in the layout file. We check. We also want to add Tailwind. So let me just stop the server for a second. Just clear screen. npx Astro add and Tailwind, and this will make us get Tailwind CSS and Tailwind CSS Vite, and we say yes to all of these dependencies. And once it's done, we will be able to add Tailwind into our project. Okay, so it's done. So it says here, we must import the style sheet in the shared layout. So layout, and we need to copy this here. We can copy that, and at the top, this is called the front matter. We can add, sorry, get rid of all those, and that was here as well. Would have been better just to type it, I think. Okay, so now we should be able to use Tailwind CSS styles in our layout. So we're in our index file now, and if we take a look at what we're trying to achieve, we've got a nav bar, we've got a hero section, we've got a list of movies, popular movies, we've got trending now, and then we've got upcoming releases, and at the bottom we've got categories, which is just images. So we'll do it step by step. So we'll start with the nav bar. So we'll create that first, and what I like to do, I like to create a component, a header component. So in components we'll say header.astro, and we'll just do a simple div, and this is going to have a nav with the ULLI of everything that's in our navigation: home, movies, TV shows, and categories. So we're just going to do home, movies, and categories. So we say home, home, and then we could copy this, movies and categories. Right, and there's no styling right now, and there's also the logo. So outside of the LI, we just want the logo. We'll just call it Movie Database. Cineverse. Okay, let's go Cineverse. It's a nicer name. Excellent. So we want this to, if we take a look at what we have to actually import it. So because this is going to be on every page, we'll need to put it in the layout file. So let's go layouts, and then we're going to import the header file. And in the body, we're just going to add header. So if we run the development environment now, npm run dev in the terminal, we should be able to see, here we have, right here. Now obviously it doesn't look quite like what we have, but what we can do is make it so that it's flexible and has the simple styling. So we'll do that now. Go back to the header, and we will say class of padding 4. Oops. You know what? We'll background grey, text white. Actually, we don't want text white, and we don't want grey. We want almost white, so grey 300. And we don't want the text to white. That's not what we want. But we do want to take this. So we take the nav and we'll give that a class of flex, justify content. So I'll do that. And the li will have a class of hover bg gray 800. So let's take a look and see what that looks like before we do that to the others. So we've got, okay, so 800 is not good, and we want to remove the justify between. Okay, so then we want to say, okay, so, okay, what we want to do, if we look at here, we've got, oh, it's actually white. Okay, so let's just do that, change that. So the background is white and the text is black, but only on the hover. Actually, it should be black already. Anyway. Yeah, okay, so there we go. So there we go. Let's also do cursor. Oh, I know why, because this is not a link, so let's add the link. And we're going to just, all the links will just go to the home page for now. But we will copy all of these and paste it twice. And we'll change that to movies and categories. Alright, so now we should have, excellent, all of that. Now that's good. And we're going to have flex. You know, I'm going to change this to a div and see if we have a bit more. No, okay. I think it's because, okay, we'll leave that as it is. Alright, so there we go. This actually should have a class of flex as well. But we don't want the space x4 and the ML alter. Okay, just want flex. Excellent. Okay, there we go. Now we want to space them out a bit, so we'll just add some padding. not to the navigation actually, sorry. I want to add some padding to the, sorry, not that, padding 4. Let's do it to that, there we go, and we have the margin 2. But what we want to do, we actually want the margin 2 to be on each of the LIs, list items. There we go. So that's a bit more kind of similar to what we're going for. And we want maybe a bit of padding on the hover. So we will say hover. We don't need text black, so we hover padding, padding 4. Take the text black out. Hover padding 4. And we'll do the same here. We get rid of all of that. Okay, so that's everything. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We just want, okay, so that's a bit too much. Let's just do padding X of 4. Okay, let's do padding X of 2 and change that. Obviously you can change this how you like, just to give us a little bit more yeah, so the rounded, we need to add the rounded as well. Rounded MD. Rounded MD. Okay, so there we go, got our little header. Similar, it's not quite the same as what we have, so we might change that to slate, BG slate. 900. Oh, I quite like that better. Except, yeah. Let's change it to say 300 and see what happens. Okay, that's a little bit better. We don't want the text white, sorry. Maybe that's white. That's better. Yeah, okay. So we're happy with that. So we've got our first section done. And now what we're going to do, we're going to, okay, Lovable is taking, okay. So I always do it in Lovable first, give it a nice little UI idea of what we're going to be making, and then we dissect it and make it in Astro.js. So next we want to move on to this header section. So we might not have the image in the background, but we'll have these little tags and the all of this information. So what we'll do, we'll actually copy this and we'll create a component called hero. Hero.astro. Okay, and a div, and the h1 is definitely going to have, let's say, this. And then we're going to need a span for these items, and then a paragraph tag for this. So let's do the paragraph tag underneath. And span, and then, okay, so let's do span first. We have a span. It'd be helpful if I actually could spell it. Let's say 2022. And then we have another span, 7.7. what we're going to do, we're going to go to the iconiz.js.org and we're going to get a star. So, sorry, star. And that is going to be the star that we use for ratings. So this looks nice. I like this one. So we're just going to copy this snippet here. It just automatically gets copied when you clip it. And we're going to go back into here and we're going to add the SVG file. Okay. Next, we're going to go back into our index folder, and this time we're going to import the hero and add the hero in the layout. So it's always good to work with components, and then you can bring them in as you want. And if we take a look, there we go, avatar, way of the water, etc., etc. Okay, so now we want to make it look similar to this. So we actually need the tags at the top, so we'll do the same there. Go back into the hero, copy the span tag, and we'll have span, and that will be science fiction, adventure, and, okay, so science fiction, adventure, if I can spell it. And what was the last one? Action. Okay, so we have those, and as you can see, it's getting pretty repetitive, but we'll figure out a way to make it, streamline it a little bit better. So we go exactly what we need. So this is the information, and now we've got the component. Now let's turn it into this nice little hero section. So we've got a big bold with the tags there, got a background of white with rounded edges. So what we can do, and this is what it's a good way, as you can see, we're duplicating, which is never a good thing. It's never good to duplicate code. So what we can do is take one of the spans and we create a component called badge, or you could also go to Starwind, and as you can see, they have already a component called badge, which is kind of what we want. So what we'll do, we will actually install Starwind, and we will we'll start using those components. So the way to do it is running this command here. So we'll stop this and we'll run this command. Starwind at latest. Yes, it says what's your components compository, and it is source components. Would you like to add Starwind CS, the Tailwind CSS? Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna go with zinc. We're gonna go with stone, and we're using npm. Yeah, we'll just do whatever it needs. So excellent. So while that's going in, what we're going to want to do next is, because we're going to want to use badge, we're going to go to badge, and it's very simple. Here's the badge. This is the command we're going to need to run. So once it's installed those packages, we can run that, and we can make those changes. And as you can see here, you've got different variants, but we can obviously use classes to change the colors as well. And then you've got sizes here, small, medium, and large. So there you go. So let's take a look, see if we're ready to go. And we need to add this Starwind CSS file to the layout file. So we'll do that. Let's say import source. Okay, so now we're going to copy these instructions here, add the compiler options. This is what we really need to the Astro config file. Let's take a look and see if we run this. We're getting an error. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Okay, let's do that. So let's try that. See if that works. Okay, so it's unable to. So let's take a look at what we added here. Source, that's fine. Oh, okay, we're bringing in Tailwind twice for some reason. Not good. The compiler options, that's fine. See if that works. No. Okay, so okay, we'll come back. Just realized I added it to the wrong location. It's supposed to be the TS config file. That's why. Should read the documentation properly. It's always better when you do that. Okay, so this should work now. Something is still wrong. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So it's working fine now. Just had to add the rest of the dependencies. So yeah, okay. So great. So now that Starwind has not broken our stuff, so we can go to the badge now, and we're gonna say npx. We're just gonna copy this. Starwind at latest. So let's stop this server. We'll say this. Okay, so now it's made a component here in our Starwind called badge. So whenever we want to use it, we have to import it. So if we go back to our hero section, we're going to make front matter at the top. Oops. And we're going to import badge. Oops, badge from, there we go. Components. Oh no, it's here because that's where we can put the @ symbol. And if we take a look at the documentation here, we could have just done this actually. And copy that, paste that in. And instead of spam, we can now just say badge in both places. So badge. Copy this. And if we take a look here, won't refresh because I'm not running it anymore. pm run dev. So if we take a look now, it's going to run it, and there we go. Obviously, we're going to change it so that the badge is a different color. But we could also make a component called category tag.astro. And what that's going to be is basically taking the import here and adding it here instead in the category tag. And obviously it's going to take a badge, so we just copy this, go here. And what we can do, we can say const category, or const category is Astro props, and then we put in the category. So we go category. Now here we can add the class, which equals bg-white and text-black. Right? So now instead of having the badge here, we can import the category tag because we have the right styling and everything. So this will be category tag, and whatever's in the middle, actually that's what we should do, whatever's in the middle, actually no. Let's change it. So remove adventure. It can be a self-closing tag. I'm going to say category equals adventure. Category equals say action. What was the other one? Science fiction. There we go. That's what it was. And then category tag science fiction. Okay, so now we should have all of them. Okay, so obviously we can't see it because the background is white too. So we're going to make the background just for the header section to be a bit more, maybe let's go dark. Let's go a little bit darker. So the header, hero, say BG class. Let's see what that looks like, what he's given us. Okay, it's good. We like the color, and we'll remove all the other styling. We don't need a flex. Okay, so just the padding and background. Excellent. That's what we got for now, which is great. And we can now work on the heading. So we're going to definitely go with class of font bold, text 8 XL. Let me take a look. Okay, maybe it's more like 6. Yeah, it's more like 6. Yeah, okay, I like that more better. And then what else we got? We've got the 22 and the 7 are on the same line. Okay, so we close everything except this one. And we close everything. Okay. All right. So now we have the span, etc., etc. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy these 2 spans, cut it. We're going to put it inside a div with a class of flex. And now they should be side by side. Okay. And the span. We'll take the SVG out and put it separately. So now we should have all 3 side by side. Excellent. Okay. So now we want to maybe take the star and the rating, and you can even make that its own div. You can even make it a component if you want, but right now that's what we're going to be doing. Do for the class flex. Okay, and we want to change the color of this. So we'll say class, the SVG. So we're in class, and we're going to say BG yellow 400. Oh, sorry, text yellow 400. Yellow 400. Yeah, that's right. Cancel. So that didn't work. So what we're going to do, this window, we could also yeah, we could say color yellow. Doesn't like it. Oh, we have to come back to that. Oh, I don't want to spend too long doing this. So, got the right height of 6. Alright, excellent. That's actually what we want. We just want to change the color, but we'll do that in a minute. Next, we want to add the, as you can see, there's a big, nice padding on the left here. So we want to add that. And we also want to make sure that they've got these 2 buttons here, watch trailer and details. So, like before, there's actually a component called button that we're going to use. So what we have to do, we have to copy that from the Star Labs, and what we'll do, we'll paste that in. So we'll add the button, and I'm also going to probably be using card at some point, so let's just copy that as well while we're here. Excellent. So now we've got card and button. We can now carry on and run it again. So anytime we want to use it, we add it. So we'll go back to button because that's what we're going to use first. And for the code, we want to import the button. So in the hero section at the top here, I'm going to add the button. And underneath here, I'm going to say button, watch trailer, and the other one is view details. Okay, so we can take a look and see what that gives us. Here we are. So slowly but surely we're making our way through. So the second button is white with black. So that's what we can do. The second button has a class of BG class. BG black, text white. There we go. Oh, and it says just details. Okay. I said it, but I didn't do it. BG white, and remove view and just put details. Definitely have to obviously add text black as well, just to specify that that's how it is. And there we go. So we've got this nice thing here, and now what we'll do with the paragraph, we'll say class of text gray, margin top, margin bottom. Let's see what that looks like. And we're going to add a max width, and we're going to say LG. Okay, Excellent. So now we need to make sure we add the padding to the whole div. So the padding, we're going to say 48. Let's see if that looks like. Hey, looks pretty good. So it's very, very similar to what we have here, except for the color, obviously, of the icon. If we go to the icon, there's actually, we can say copy with color. Let's take a look. Go back here, add the SVG again. Oops, sorry, didn't work. Copy color. And we can change the fill here. Here we go. So RGB. Oh, okay. I've forgotten what the RGB for yellow is. Oh, okay, this is the other way around. Okay, so the first 4. Excellent. There we go. Okay, it's a bit bright, but you get the idea. And there we go. There's our little hero section done, which is here. Oops. Again, I've used Lovable to create this UI, and it's done a pretty good job. So now let's move on to this section here, popular movies. Okay, so we're gonna make little cards using the card component from Starwind, and we're gonna make these cards with a rating, title, and the year. That's what we're gonna do. And like I said, we're just doing the UI first, and then we'll bring in the API after. So first of all, we need a section called Popular Movies, Trending Now, and Upcoming Releases. So that's what we'll do then. So now we're in the, close this hero section, we're in the index component. And this is a H1 for popular movies. And then we said there was one called Upcoming Releases and Trending Now. Okay. Which I think Trending Now and Popular Movie is probably the same thing, but anyway. And this one is Upcoming Releases. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a component because we're going to reuse it. It's better to just start now and call it movie. Actually, we'll call it feature card. Astro. And this is going to, we have to import. Oh, actually, let's go to documentation. Go to card and go to the code, and we just want to import everything that it says here for now, and then we'll go through and delete what we don't need. So we don't need any of the buttons and select and input. No, don't need any of that. Just the card content, card description, card header, etc. Excellent. So if you look at the preview, obviously this one has a form inside. But what we're going to do, we're just going to copy this from documentation, and again remove what we don't need. So we don't need the button, don't need to select or the label or the input. Alright, so we just have bare bones. You can get rid of that. Very, very bare bones. So what we're going to want is we're going to want an image, and we're going to want a description. So the card title is the title of the movie. So let's just say here, const movies movie equals Astro.prop. So then we'll say movie.title, and we'll say movie.accept. That's the header content. Yeah, we'll add the image and the release date. Okay, there we go. Obviously the image doesn't exist, none of this exists. So what we can do now, we can go in feature card and we're going to make a div with a class of grid, and we're going to go grid. You know what, we're just actually going to do flex for now. And then we're going to open a curly brace and say, actually we're going to need to obviously make an array. So const movies equals, so we have one movie, this one is movie 1, movie 2, that's nice and easy. So here we're just going to right click and copy image address, just paste it where it says image here. And obviously we're going to soon change this to link to the TMDB file. As you can see, it's actually taking it from there already, but we're not going to do that until let's get this one. Oops. Actually, let's go back. Copy image address. Okay, so then we've got, oh, we only have 2. Alright, so, alright, that's fine. So we've got the release date, and then now if we take a look, oh, obviously, forgot to actually add the feature card in. So what we'll do, we've got those movies now. It's got 2 movies now. We could just duplicate that so we've got 4. And change it to 3 and 4. And now we're going to say feature card. Movies.map. There you go, feature card. And we're going to import feature card. Alright. And there we go. Movie 1, movie 2, movie 3. Obviously we're going to change this, but this is relatively close to what we want. Except the title's at the bottom, and we've got a rating as well. Okay, so what we change in the feature card, we will have the movie, the card footer. No except, so we're getting rid of this description. Let's take a look and see what we've got there. Okay, so now it's there, but we need the description. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I've got card footed twice here. So let's get rid of that. Make sure card content. Okay, let's take a look. Excellent. So we've got movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, movie 4. Excellent. So we want to have the movie and obviously the okay. So movie title, we'll put it in a H1 with a class of font bold. Now we'll have the movie title in there. And there we go, got the front bold, and it has the year. So now we need to add the year. What will we say? We will say paragraph. For now, we'll just hand code the year. What year was it? 2022. Okay. We want it to appear underneath. So see if this will work. No. We can say release here. Start preview. Okay, so for now, we can do a look at the documentation. Okay, we can put card content after here. Put that in the header. Put the release date and the content. Let's see how that goes. There we go. Excellent. As you can see, popular movies, so we need to have the same padding as the rest. So I believe the padding was 48. And this also needs a section with the class of P48. I'll put everything in there. Okay, so it's kind of similar to where we're getting there, what we need. We can remove this 48. And that should bring us back to how it was. Excellent. So now popular movies needs to be bold. So font class, font bold, text 6XL. That's what it is for everywhere else. Excellent. Maybe more 4. And let's give it a margin bottom of 4 as well. Excellent. So obviously this is very similar to what we're going to create for the trending now and upcoming releases. So whenever there's anything similar, the outside here, we're going to turn this into a component. So we'll copy that. We'll call this movie section Astro. And what we want to extract from there is movie and also title. So title will be here. Oh, and we see I want to import the feature card as well. We'll be using that. And say astro.crops. Make sure that's an equal sign. And in the index, we're going to take this movies file and add it to movie section. Now we can get rid of this whole section and we can import movie section, and this was popular movies. Here we go. And now, what was the other two? It was, okay, the popular movies is, the font is too big. Trending now and upcoming releases. Okay. So we can say, oh, it was right there. These three. Trending now and upcoming releases. Okay. Excellent. So if we take a look, trending now, upcoming releases. Okay. So as you can see, it's very, very padded. So what we can do in the movie section, we'll just do padding X of 48. Yeah, excellent. That's good. And we'll also reduce the text. So we'll go down to 2. Yeah, that looks better. And we're going to add some padding on the text. Okay, so we've got popular movies, trending now, upcoming releases. So there you go. We might want to put a margin top of 4 as well. That's better. Okay. And you can see these are quite snug. So we can go into our feature card and add a class with a margin of 2. Excellent. So they're a bit more far away now. Alright. So the last thing we need to do so far for the UI is add the category section. And also the links, but the footer I'm not going to worry too much about. But we're going to do browse by category. So it's very similar to the feature card. Yeah, very, very similar to the feature card, except it has images for each. So we'll do that. Go to the index file. Eventually this will be a component, but we can start with a section. We'd say the class of padding left 48. We want to say the hero section, the heading is browse by category. Okay. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 6. Action, adventure, anime. Okay. So we'll make this component here with a little tag and the amount of titles. So that's what we need to make here. So we're just going to say a div. The class bg dash let's do a URL, copy link address, let's see what that does. I know that's the project. Okay, so for now we're just going to just have a padding of 4, and we'll just say an image. We'll get source 1 from Unsplash. This is going to be the image title, and we'll get rid of the source in there. And we know that we want this div to be rounded, so let me do that as well. And we also want to say the category name. So eventually this will be a component, so that's why I'm just writing that in. So if we take a look, let's actually copy this image address and we'll paste it here. Alright, so that's the category name. We want to make sure that the class is object cover, height 48. Let's try that. Oops. Width full, height 48, rounded MD. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so this is the height of 48. So we want to make it smaller or bigger. Let's go 96. Okay, it's big. I want to give it a max width of medium. And for now, we're just going to leave the category name outside, but we can obviously bring it inside as well. So there we go. And obviously we're going to take that, cut that, put it into a component. And we call it category.astro. And we add it here. And it takes in, obviously it's going to be a different image. So we're going to add the option to add an image source, image, and a title. We'll say Astro.props. Title. Change this source. Obviously right now it's this, but we'll say image. Or that. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, we'll do that for now. Outcome releases are similar to the releases we have already. So now we go to the index page and we'll say, again, very similar to what we have in the movie section. Actually, yeah, we just did a different way of class flex. And then we said category. Oops. And obviously we're going to actually just add the title equals adventure action and animation, comedy, crime and drama. Okay, so do that. Crime and drama. Okay, so now let's take a look and see what we got. Oh yeah, so for some reason source I'm just going to take this image source here and put it as a default. So if nothing is added, we have those. So actually now we're going to go to the index page, and instead of flex, we're going to change this div to grid with the class of grid dash cols dash 1, and then grid md grid dash cols dash 3 yeah. Right, excellent. And then we're going to go back to the category and the image, and I'm going to change the height back to 48. Let's see what we've got there. There we go, that's much better. We don't have the ability to add the things inside yet, but that's looking good. So we can say, instead of title here, we say H1 or H2. And the title is there. We say font class, font bold. There we go, action, adventure. Right. And the browse by category needs to be the same as what we have for the others. So just copy that from a different one, paste it here. Oops. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So we've got a very similar layout to what we have from Lovable. Ready to get going. Actually, we changed these categories into links. Make sure we wrap everything in a link. At the moment, it's just going to go to the same page, but eventually, what we can do, we can actually say URL here and add that as a component prop URL. We're just going to say equals nothing for now, or the home page for now, but obviously you can change that. So now they all have links, and you could actually change it so that when we hover, the opacity is okay. So this is the beginning. So we have a little nav bar up here and the heading section. Got the popular movies, trending now, upcoming releases, and then we've got the browsing the categories section. So that's what we've got now. So let's look at actually using the movie database DPI and actually bring in specific what we need for this specific component. Now, just as a heads up, you would want to add any sensitive files like API keys, etc. in your folder outside your folder structure. So you put a .env, and then you would put the TMDB API or whatever you want to call it, and then you would add it here and save it. And then when you upload to GitHub or whatever, and then go to something like Vercel or Netlify, you'll definitely need to add your API key there too. Okay, so your API key, usually it tracks how many times it's called, and obviously there's limits if it's free, and this one is free. It's obviously for non-commercial use, so you can't sell the website that I'm making. I wouldn't be able to sell it unless I paid this amount to get well, if I have $1 million in revenue per year, etc. So when you sign up, it's free again, and you get the API key, and you can basically go to this the moviedb.org, and you want API documentation, etc. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start using the documentation to create the rest of our website and make these turn this into an actual website. Okay. we go. So we've got this okay, so as we can see, we have this scroll bar here, and in order to make sure we know exactly how this is done, we can right click and inspect, and here we can see the attributes that it's got there. So it's a grid with a class of, so it's a class of grid, a div with a class of grid, grid flow, auto columns, max, gap 4, overflow, x, etc. So we could basically copy that. So you can either copy it here, you copy the element, and inside of the movie section, where was we? Movie section. I've got it written here. So if we pasted it, oh, it would not be that. So normally it's, sorry, we just want that specific part of the, here, this, edit attribute. You could do edit attribute. So I'm just trying to remember how I did it. Duplicate elements. Oh, it does it actually in the thing. Okay, so what you could do was copy selector. I think that's what it was. Yes. So you can see the whole thing. There was a way I did it. Just trying to remember what I did. It was copy styles. It was copy styles, or just copy element. That's what I did. Yeah, maybe. No, it wasn't that. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, regardless of how we get it, this is the same thing. We have grid flow call, auto calls, max, gap 4, overflow, x, auto. This is exactly the same as what's written there. And so we have the popular movies and then these. And if we go back to the index.astro, we have the movie section. And it's bringing in popular movies is the title. And then we're looping through the movies that we get from movies.ts. So we've got the get popular movies, which takes in the base URL and then movie/popular. We've got the trending movies, movie/top rated, and get upcoming movies, movie/upcoming. So we've got those three. And in the index, we've got those three here. So we've got a movie section with the title of popular movies, another with trending movies, which takes the trending movies, and the upcoming movies, which takes the upcoming movies from here. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what we've got now. Is we've got popular movies, trending movies, and upcoming movies. So, and we've got this nice horizontal bar. So they're a little bit too big compared to what we have here, but that can obviously, we could always change that. That's no big deal. So let's do that now. So that's going to be the feature card. That's too big. So we basically say a width of that. That's fine. Height auto. Maybe we change the height to 72. Let's take a look. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it's true, we actually just want the whole card to be smaller, so we leave it as it was, and we need the width. Maybe the width should be 300, and then we should add a height. Maybe height 200 pixels. Okay, so it's a little bit too small, so we will just leave the height as auto, and we will leave it at that. So we've got, because we've made that component, we were able to do a 3-in-1 basically. So now we can look at browsing by category. So we have adventure, action, etc, etc. So we want it similar but not exactly the same as these. How many titles and pictures behind them, and a little hover animation. So the hover animation, I think we have sort of already, and we want to have action and what they how many titles. So if we go to category tag, or category, sorry, not the title, and then we'll say H3, I don't know, 999 titles. Actually, we'll change that to number, title amount. Say title dot title amount. No, title amount. That's it. And we'll initialize it to 999. So now we should have all of those. That's fine. And so now we want to make sure that as we loop through, we are getting the not only the categories but also the images. So if we go to index file, we have these here. So it's taking in, this is category, a URL and an image. So make sure we have that. URL equals / adventure. This one's action. This one's animation. You get the idea. Comedy, crime, and drama. Now, if you don't put a image, it will do the default image. But if you click on it, it will go to / adventure, / action, etc. So now what we need to do, we actually need to change that to category. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to make the category page. So on the side here, source, pages, we have a new folder called categories, or category, sorry, because that's what it is. Inside we say a new file, and we'll call it id.astro. And the main thing, first of all, we're going to do, we're going to change the Astro config to output server. Okay, and then we're going to say const selected category equals astro.params, and we're going to say const movies equals, oh, we need to actually make that, so what we'll do, we'll save that for now. Close all. In the movies.ts, we want to make a similar function here, like this one. Sorry, like this one, which is get movies, but actually no, it should be more like this one. Get movies by category. So it will loop through and it will fetch all the movies with the category. So if we go to the TMDB API and we look at the documentation, API reference. So we want a list of all the collections of the right category, or in this case, genre. So that's all the genres. So we've got ID of 28, 12, 16, so quite a few. So if we just say we want to find all the movies with the same genres. So we have the list. We can find them by ID. I thought we could find them by movie as well, but maybe not. We're going to change, let's change the trending window. So it's trending instead of upcoming. There we go. We do that. So this is basically what's trending at the moment. Just double check that. Undo. So let's go with index. Okay, so I've made a list here called categories, and what we're going to do, we're going to loop through those at the bottom here. So we kind of have a mock-up of what we want. So we're going to say categories.map cat any, and we know this takes in a title, so I'm going to say cat.title, a URL, cat.url, and an image if we look at the category, what else does it take in? Title amount. Okay. So title amount equals cat dot results dot length. No, actually we're going to get rid of that. We're not going to put that through. So now we should have everything here. Everything should be working the same as it was before. So we've got adventure, action, crime, comedy. Is it drama? We can add more. We could add drama. And we can add one more. Ribbons. Okay, so now we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The images don't do anything right now, but then if we hover over, we're going to be taken to a page with all the titles. So now we want to see if we can get this titles page done. So what we want is to be able to inside here say total amount, title, what's it called? Title amount, yeah. Cancel. Equals, and this one we're going to say the top here, const get cat movie amount equals await, get movie by category, and we're going to pass in I say adventure titles. Let's just do that for now. And we'll basically say adventure. And then I want to say down here would be dot results dot length. So let's see what we've got. I've only got 20 titles so far in everything. So maybe we're only bringing back 20. So that's why it's saying that. So yeah, okay. Well, that's not going to work, so I'm just going to get rid of that for now. And we are still going to do this. We're going to do that inside of the ID here. So we're going to say selected category, and we need to import that. Get movies by category, and to make sure that it's a string. And it's actually, I don't know why I've got ID here, it should be category. to say, also want to make sure we bring in the layout, and we're going to say adventure titles dot map titles. Yeah, that's right. And then we're going to say feature card. I think it's feature card. What are we doing here? Yeah. So hopefully what should happen now is when we click on adventure. I forgot to add the results. Okay, so you want to say category adventure dot results dot map. Okay, so if we click on adventure, okay, it doesn't like the split. So okay, we'll do that. One second. So here we are. So we have this popular movies and releases. So we have it working here, very similar. And the trending movies and the Minecraft movies there. And then we've got browse by category, which we have to set up now. But as you can see, nice and easy. We have exactly what we need. So we need to make it so that we can click on it and it takes us to the page. Kind of like this. Styled similarly like this. And we have just movies. Okay, so let's do, and here's the categories page. This is what we're going to focus on now. So I have my category page, and instead of an image, we're just going to remove that, and we are going to give it class background. Of background, and then we're going to say color. And at the top we're going to create a prop called color. So now in our index page with our categories, we can add a color. So we'll say green 600, and action will be red, crime will be, actually crime should be red, action should be orange, comedy blue, drama purple, and romance pink. Alright, so if we take a look and see what we got. Oh, right now we haven't got anything. Take a look. 600, that's right. Okay, so we need to take this class. We need to put it actually. Oops. We need to take this and put it here. And remove this. And make sure we put the back tick here instead. So that should work. No. Background dash color equals. What am I doing wrong? Oh, that's fine. Oh, actually I haven't added it here. So it's color equals cat.color. So now it should work. No? Color green. This should be working. Okay, let's change that back to how it was. Let's see if that looks better. No. I'm gonna say height 400 pixels. See if that makes a difference. It does not. Let's just add. Alright, so we're inside Movies TS for a second. Now we're just going to go here and we're going to basically get all the official genres for movies. And we're going to use this get request here. So we'll just make that. So we export const get all genres equals async. And we're basically going to copy paste this here because we know we have the base URL, which is that. And there we go. So we can get all genres. Now we can go to our index and instead of categories at the top here, we can get rid of all of these. And actually we can say, instead of actually getting rid of all those, we get rid of the array and say await get all genres. Okay. And what it comes back with, if we take a look at what it comes back with an ID and a name. So we'll just put category name. Oops. We'll put title. I say cat dot name. Okay, and if we go to the category component, we'll get rid of everything. Actually, we'll get rid of color. Okay, we'll put that to ID. And we'll get rid of that here. And we will get rid of the href for now. There we go. Okay. It won't go anywhere. We don't need that. Okay. So now we should take a look and go back. Sorry. So now we should have everything. Oh, we haven't run the. Let's make sure we run it again. categories.map is not a function because categories equals away. Okay. We're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that as well. So in the index, we're going to get rid of this. And first of all, we'll see what we get back. So we'll say console.log categories. Okay, awesome. So we can change that to genres. That will make more sense because that's what we're getting. We're getting genres, and so console.log genres gets back that. And genres.results dot dot map is not right, so what we'll say is we're getting genres. Yeah, excellent. So that's what we're looping over. So here we can say this genres.map, etc. So now we should have all the genres here: action, adventure, comedy, crime, etc., etc. So they're not going anywhere, but we could get movie by genre. We could do that. That's what we have kind of here already. So if we go to the movies page, with all the genres here, so we can search the collection and it queries a category that we put here. So if we search, where search is at the top, so if we look at details, there we go. We obviously search by movie ID, we will do that. Oh, here's the search, sorry. There is search movie, here we go. So the query, if we take a look at the, let's do action, and put action here and try it. So it comes back with results of all the movies that have the word action in it. So the query would equal action. So that's what we got there, which is great. So what we want. So what we will do, we will go back to our index page. Where is it now? Sorry. Pages, index page, here we go. So the category, category component, that's what we need. And it will basically be what we have here. So selected category page, so we have the get movies by category, and it will basically loop through everything. So we'll just say title instead. So yeah, and that should be what we get. So what we want to do, we want to go / category /ID. That's basically what we're going to do. Actually, it's not going to be ID, it's going to be title because we want just the name. So we put the backticks and we'll change this to title. So hopefully what we've got here is action, and it should have come back with a load of categories. Oops. Astro params, selected category. It's using Copilot. Let's try that. Okay, that's how it was. Okay, that's fine. Let's say console.log. Let's get the selected category. Let's try that. So it should be action. I'm not getting anything here. So let's just go with selected category. That's a good idea. Okay. So it's all trial and error. So it should be action. That's what we should see here. Okay, excellent. So we've got H1, all movies with selected category. We'll say text class, text center, and there we go. Excellent. And let's make it text 4XL, font dash bold. And now what we want to do is we want to try and get the movies now. So the await movies by category, we're putting a category in here and we're returning the JSON that we usually do. So let's see. So let's say we get all movies equals await get, and then we're going to say console.log all movies.results. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we're getting back a load of movies, which is great. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take that and we're going to loop through, say const all movies by category. Excellent. It's going to loop through them, and then we're going to see that. And there's no key, so we just remove this for now. So we should have a load of action movies. Okay, so we go back. Okay, awesome. So we know that that's working, and we want to make sure that instead of doing this, we will use a feature card. Now feature card takes in a release year. So what we'll do, we'll copy this and make this called MovieCard. And we will remove this release year. And remove that card content here as well. Okay. So now we can go to category and change this to MovieCard. And we don't need that. There we go. All right, so we should be getting back. Oh, okay, so now it's going to come back with the overview. We don't want the overview, we just want the title. We don't need the card content actually. We just want that. So if we go home, and if we scroll down and go to animation, there we go. And then obviously each one we have to do that next. So that's, it's not too bad, not looking bad. Obviously you can clean it up, make it look as nice as you want, but there you go. We have all the images coming back with the right category. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just take a look at the category components. We're going to start with the Get Movies TS, and we're going to do these look at these two functions here. We've got Get Movies by genre and Get All Genres. So the Get All Genres is in the description here. So what we want is to look at the movie list here. It's got genres here. So we're basically getting this, calling this, and if we try it here, it's getting all the list of all the genres that we need. So that's what this function does. It gets that list, and this one discovers any movie with a certain genre. So for example, if we look at this list again, we've got the ID of animation 16. So if we looked at Discover, which is another API endpoint, here it is, Discover Movie. If we scroll down, we can see there's one here that says with genres, and that's what that would be. So if we put in 16 and we tried it, it would only come back with, we've got Mufasa, we've got Moana, Plankton Movie, all these things. So that's coming back there. So now we can take a look at the category component. So we're not gonna, oh, we could use an image actually. So we'll just do image. Yeah, let's add the image actually. This is just a random image from TMDB. We can obviously change that to a unsplash image or whatever. And what this is going to do is take in a prop. It's going to take in the ID, it's going to take in the title, and if we want to, it's an image, but this is going to be the default image here. Now we take a look at index. So this is where we're getting our stuff. So this is all movies, all genres, sorry. We're going to get all the genres. Just copy that. And it comes back with a request that says, that takes in genres. So we're going to basically loop through those genres. And we're going to use the category component. And it is already there, so we don't need to do that. So we're just going to say the title is the genre.name and the ID is the genre.id. So we're just going to run dev. Make sure that that's running. Okay, So here we are, and if we scroll down, there we go. Now obviously we've got the same component here, so what we could do is we could go to Unsplash and we could say movie, and oh, this one's to get images, sorry, that's not what we want. We want to always go to license and free, and we could use let's use this one, something nice. So we can copy the image address, and we can go back to the category component and paste the image address here. So now if we go back to our, we've got these that's fine. Now we want to look at, when we click on these things, we want to actually have a return. So that's in pages category, and we've got this category.astro, and we're importing a MovieCard, the layout, and the other function, get movies by genre, which is including the genres there. So that takes in the selected category, which is going to be the params, which is what this is. And we're going to loop through all movies and go through that specific category. So once we do that, we're going to put the movie into this MovieCard component, and that is very similar to the feature card. It's just removed the release date. So we're getting a movie with the ID, poster path, the title, etc., etc. So what we can do, we can okay, we can try this out. So let's take a look. If we go to animation, there we go. So we're getting Mufasa, we're getting Moana, and a few others. Let's go back, and if we go adventure, we're getting the Minecraft movie and all of that. Some of them obviously have genres. As you can see, it says all movies with 12, which doesn't make any sense. So we can change that by changing this here. Now we know that the selected category is this, but we need to actually get the genres. So what we'll do is we'll get all genres, and then what we want to do, we want to say find, selected genre is what we want. Okay, it's the same as the selected category, that's what we want. So now if we say action, it doesn't do that for some reason. Okay, so all genres dot find equals selected genre dot. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to say all genres dot find ID. Excellent, that's what we want. Excellent. So what we're doing, it's basically looping through the genres, and it's looking for the ID, and it's passing the selected category, and we're trying to find the name. So that's basically what it's doing. It's making it a lot easier for us. Okay, so there we have it. So the last thing we're going to do is make a specific page for the actual movie itself. So that's going to be very simple to set up. It's very similar to the category.astro, but we're just going to call it ID Astro. Actually, we want to move that into a folder called movies. ID there. Okay. Because if we look at the MovieCard, we're going /movie/ID. That's the only reason. So we change this to movie and ID. So there we go. We're going to copy everything from the categories.astro, and instead of all of that, we are going to get selected movie, and it's going to be the ID, and that's what we're going to get back, just the movie. And we have a get movie component here. So what we'll do, we'll just say, oops, get rid of those. I'm going to say selected movie.title. Yeah, I don't know why there's so many. Okay, we'll get rid of those. Okay, let's just see what we get back first. So we're going to say const movie, selected movie. No, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so now const the movie equals get movie. What was it? Yeah, get movie. Selected movie. It needs to be await because it's an async function. Await get movie. I need to import that. Import get movie. How did we do it last time? This is what we need. Okay. So get movie is from the lib folder movies path. Okay. So we're going to say the movie title, and this is going to be just that for now. All right. So we're just going to save that. We're going to get a title, and we're going to get the movie.overview because that's another thing. And we're also going to get the image. So the image, which is the poster path, and it has a specific first part, which is this. So we're going to say base image URL plus the movie.poster path. Okay, and then the title is going to be the movie.title. All right, and that should be it. So now if we click on Minecraft, okay, wow, we get this huge image and the title, and also a little bit about it. So we don't want width full, we'll say width 72. There we go. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. And what we're going to do is maybe have the image on the side and the information on the left. So that's what we'll do now. We'll say div class of grid dash cols dash 1, and then md grid dash cols dash 2, So it will stack against each other, and then we'll have the image as one, and then a div with the information as the other. Okay. So now if we take a look, we refresh the page. Nope, didn't work there. Let's put this in the div as well. And we make sure, so this is one div, this is the second div. Okay. So now, oops. Grid of a class of grid dash call dash 2, get 4, padding 4. Alright, let's try that. Now we don't need the extra image here. This div doesn't need to exist. Okay. So here we are, Minecraft movie. And if we go to the genres, let's go to animation, go to Mufasa, again, get that. And then we'll have, it's Minecraft movie again. So we go to categories and we go to family. And we'll go Sonic 3. And then this is what's used for Sonic 3. And obviously we can add more information. We could, what we get back is obviously the overview, but we could also get the review, as in, like, you know, how much is the rating, like the vote average, for example. Any information that we want to include, you could include it there. But that's a nice little way of creating a movie website using Astro. Obviously the movies and categories, all you'd have to do is make a index file in categories here, index.astro, and we would basically copy this one and remove all of those. And we should see the categories here. I can remove all of that. And that. Alright. So we don't need the movie section because we don't have that. We don't need the hero either. So now, in the header, we can close this. And if we go to the header section, we can say this one's / categories. Get rid of this. Or, yeah, for now, that's what it is. So if we click on categories, oh, no, that's not right. Oh, it's category. It's the index file. Okay, here we go. So here we go. I have all the categories here. Then we go home. There we go. Go music. So this is all the things about music, and if we click on that, we've got a nice index page there about the movie. We don't need this to be a different class of flex. We don't need that because we've already got this div is 1. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we're home, categories is made. And the last thing we're going to do is just this main image here. so the main hero section. So what we can do, we don't need, oh yeah, that was the category tag. Okay, that was because, oh yeah, that was what we were making. So this can now be just one movie. So we could, yeah, we can get movie and const selected movie equals, we're going to use this one as our movie. This is the ID we want to use. Obviously you could change that, and we could take this whole thing here, copy that and make it into the movie card, because that I think is better than what we had there. So obviously it's still wrapped in this class, but instead of, we'll have this here, copy all of that, cut that, and we will have this here. We don't need the button actually. And we're going to change this to movie.overview. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to move the category tags and sort those out in a moment. And we're going to change this to movie.title. Oh, that was the star, wasn't it? And we want this to be movie dot the rating. What was it again? How do we get that? See, I think it's vote average. Vote average dot to fixed is 2, just so that we get a nice image here. Yeah, so this is the movie card. So now in the hero section, I'm going to put the movie card. Movie equals selected movie. Which is await get movie, and we're going to put in this yeah. So we're choosing a specific movie. We haven't changed the categories yet, but go back to the home page. So a Minecraft movie is what we're using. We've got the average rating here. For some reason we've got them on the same line. I don't know why. So let's go back to our movie card. Ah, that's why. I'm going to take that. And put that there. And make sure that that has a end time. There we go. Alright, so these we now need to sort out, but at the moment we're actually going to add an image to the side as well. We could do that too, but we'll do that only in the hero section. So we'll say have that in it, and then we'll have the image source. And we'll get the image from the selected card. So we'll say, what is it, movie dot, oh, we know it's in this one. We'll take this and we'll go to the hero and we'll add it here. We'll also take the base URL, that's fine, which is here. And then movie.posterpath. We'll say const movie image equals selected movie dot backdrop path or poster path, yeah, and we'll put that here, and selected movie dot title. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we're getting a huge thing back, don't want that, but I'll remove the classes for now. See what we get back. Excellent, that's what we want. And now we want to say this is a flex. See what that looks like. Oh, that looks nice, but that's not what we want. So we'll say grid. That's better. Excellent. So there we go. Now, if we wanted to change it, we could. So if we go to family, we wanted Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the poster path. Sorry, that's the ID. We could change the ID here. And if we take a look here, we've got the Sonic the Hedgehog as our main image. So there you go. So that's how we get a nice little thing working. Now because we changed this movie card, something has changed as well. So what we'll do, I'll just copy everything there and go revert it back to how it was. So we get that kind of back to how it was. Awesome. And we'll make a new component called hero card Astro and paste that one in here. So where is it? Okay, so Minecraft movie, okay, go home. Okay, yeah, so now it's done that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go hero card. Now we don't need the span here. And we don't need the overview. Oh no, we do need the overview. So we're gonna go to the hero and change this from movie card to hero card. And the hero card, we don't want the image. Yeah, there's no image. Excellent. So there we go. So there we go. Back to how it was. So if we click on movie, it's there. Obviously we chose Sonic the Hedgehog, but we could use this as the main movie. So again, we could go here and go to our hero and change the get movie to the right ID. And we get Minecraft movie, and obviously we could change that, but that's what we want there. We could also change the Okay, so there we have it. A nice little movie website with categories and information about the actual movie. Obviously you can make it how you want, but this is all we're going to get up to. Obviously you can style everything the way you like, but yeah, there you go. So I hope to see you in the next tutorial while we look at something else.